More news out of Russia. Every year, President Vladimir Putin holds a televised news conference. One interesting thing from today's address, the Russian president giving a shout out to one U.S. presidential candidate in particular, Donald Trump. Trump himself once spoke about his relationship with the Russian president. This may help jog your memory a little bit.
I got to know him very well because we were both on 60 Minutes. We were stablemates, and we did very well that night.
Also, Trump previously said he would get along very well with the Russian leader if he was elected president. It appears today that that feeling is mutual. Putin reaffirming their bromance by calling the GOP frontrunner, quote, brilliant and talented. Talk now to Julia Ioffe from Moscow. She's a contributing writer for the New York Times Magazine and for foreign policy. So Julia, there's an entertaining aspect to this, certainly, but just to remind our viewers, Vladimir Putin is an authoritarian government. He puts dissidents in prison, even political opponents in prison. Is this sincere praise for Donald Trump, or is he poking a little bit of fun at the U.S. political process?
I think he's poking a little bit of fun at the U.S. political process, I gotta say. I think if I were Vladimir Putin and I were watching the Republican primary and the circus it's turned into, I would be saying to myself, I knew democracy wasn't such a good idea.
So what do Russians think, average Russians on the street, about the presidential race here in the U.S.? A well-known businessman, a /celebrity as the top contender for the next president. Are they entertained?
It's funny you ask. On landing here on Sunday night, the first thing I did was to do a TV hit for a Russian TV channel who wanted to know all about Donald Trump. They actually don't know a lot about him, about his past, his business, his entertainment past. They wanted to know, what they most want to know is about his shedding or kind of violating certain social conventions and the way he talks about certain issues. And Russians have hated political correctness since before Donald Trump or many of his supporters. They've often mocked American political discourse or just casual discourse as political correctness is a kind of an insult here. It's a derogatory term. And so his kind of flouting these conventions is somewhat satisfying to a lot of Russians. And they're kind of rubbing their hands and saying, like, aha, see, finally somebody came along and is busting through these artificial barriers that you people have put up. We knew you were all kind of fake and all fake smiles and fake niceness and fake politeness all along. Here's what you guys really think.
I want to read you a quote from Garry Kasparov, of course, the chess grandmaster who also ran for president a number of years ago under great restrictions in Russia. This is what he had to say of Putin's endorsement. He says, Putin's endorsement puts Trump in company with Putin's favorites, the divisive EU xenophobes and neo-fascists he sponsors. Divide and conquer. Very strong words from someone who knows Vladimir Putin very, very well. Is that a widespread feeling among, for instance, the dissident community in Russia?
I don't think so. Garry Kasparov is a pretty irrelevant figure here. He lives in the States. He's rarely here. He's not really seen as somebody that carries any clout or somebody that is listened to even among opposition activists here. Let's recall, though, that Donald Trump said a few months ago, that if anybody could get along with Putin, it would be him. And a lot of Russia watchers said, that's probably true, that the two men would probably have a very interesting and probably good rapport.
Julia Ioffe from Moscow, thanks very much, as always.
Thanks for having me.